one man, locked eternally into the wilderness. He will have to battle and beat some of RuneScape's toughest monsters in order to supply and upgrade his weaponry and armour. All this whilst being able to be attacked by any other player at all times. But who would take on such a fearsome challenge? I present to you, Wildanator. Previously, on the Wilderness Only Ironman series, we slapped through some Wilderness Slayer looking for those Laren keys, we got our 13th out of 14 uniques for the Revenants, we did an entire Spiders task at Wildanator and picked up a load of goodies. We helped our tab we have been collecting for over a year to obtain the VLS. While we hit our hurdles, we managed to get a couple of kills on Tanky Skelly Boy, and finally, we got not one, but two pieces of the Dagenhai to finish off the set. Hello guys, and welcome to episode 40 of the Wilderness Only Ironman series. After shelling out the big bucks for the VLS in the last episode, and it not exactly tearing through Vetion, I had another boss in mind that I really wanted to try and hoped that we'd have more success. That boss being Callisto. Rather than just skipping straight for a bear's task, I decided to just wait and get one organically. I thought I'd take the opportunity to bank some of the Laren's keys. Even though we do have the full Dagenhai set now, it does provide us a lot of supplies through the Laren's keys, some of which are going to help us tremendously in an up and coming grind that I have in mind. And, you know, we wouldn't say no to a few more Dagenhai pieces because I do have a tendency to mislay them sometimes. And there we have it boys, a bear's task. Can't wait to see what sort of work the VLS can do on old Callisto, but before we head up there's just a few things we need to prep first. We need to make ourselves some more bolts, some diamond and ruby bolt tips, because when we're not specking with the VLS we'll still be ranging. So we have been collecting some spores of wall crates on the side, and they're a fantastic source of adamant bolts for us, as well as having really useful supplies in general for the account. We do have quite a good shot at that pet, as it's a 1 in 400 drop rate and we'll be opening 100 crates. Unfortunately no pet, but we did get a whole host of useful supplies. Interestingly, I thought that anything we could obtain from the Spores of War could be obtained elsewhere in the wilderness, but that turns out not to be true, as the one item we can't obtain elsewhere is the Dragon Mace. That would be an amazing weapon for us to be able to use on Vetion, but unfortunately, like most dragon weaponry, it's locked behind a quest, so we won't be able to use that one. We have over 5k added bolts to make into gem-tipped bolts now. The uncuts are going to be super useful for the bolt tips. Runes are useful, alks are useful, the raw food, pretty much anything other than the seeds we can use in some way. So this is my little gem stash I've been saving up for quite some time now. Whilst I make the gem-tipped bolts, I thought I might as well just cut up all the gems and see how close we can get to that combat bracelet. It's level 74, so we're not going to get nearly enough gems to get there, but it's going to be a huge upgrade when we do. As we're unable to tan hides, this is pretty much our only way of training crafting. The Dragonstones come from Revenants, but the rest of the gems are pretty much from Spores, War Crates, Wilderness Bosses, and those oh so lovely Laren keys. We managed to get ourselves 68, so just 6 away from the combat bracelet. Not too bad at all. Keep saving up those gems. This is the Savage setup we're going to be going to Callisto with. Let's hope we can get some nice loots. Ruby bolt specs are absolutely top tier. Look at that. Right, 4 specs boys. These are the first 4 specs in Callisto. 0, not a great start. Second spec, come on. 0, yep. Third spec, let's see what we can hit. Another 0. Okay, 50 mil worth of soil, boys, and we just hit 4 zeros. Another couple of boys, purely on ancients. You've got to bring those T-beers, but they obviously assumed I had level 30 telly because they just sort of got off me, but I didn't, so should have carried on, boys. Probably would have had the kill. I wasn't disheartened by our first few specs, boys. I knew the VLS would work on Callisto, as he is weak to slash. Also though, for those of you who don't know what the VLS special does, it ignores 75% of your target's defensive stats. I tracked my first 50 special attacks and I landed 26 of them, so just over a 50% hit rate, not too bad. Within those 50, I hit 656 damage, which means each spec averaged a 25, and I think the max hit I got was about 42. That PK got on us on our very last kill, so I decided to rush back up and quickly spec out Callisto. We actually didn't die that whole task, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that Callisto task with the VLS. It really spiced it up a bit. We had a few clutch moments where I realised I wasn't protecting item, but we still have it. For now. Didn't land any of the big ticket items, but the only thing we do actually have left of the Callisto log is the pet, and we can't be expecting that just yet. Unless you're feeling super kind, please, Jagex. Cheeky little Revenant's task, do not mind if I diddly do. We've decided to try some more of the VLS up at the Revenants, and let me tell you boys, I've been doing it for a little while and it's not nearly as good as a crossbow. As the VLS can only be used in BH worlds, we are however skulled, so that pretty much halves the drop rate of all the mega rares. I'd absolutely love to skull with a crossbow, but can't bring myself to do it. I'm just way too clumsy for something like that. I will end up losing it, and it is just such a rare item. However, if we do manage to get a second crossbow, you boys will absolutely be seeing some skulled Revenant action. As the VLS can only be used in 2 worlds, once the PK see you have it, they can just lock down the BH worlds. So we decided to take the Craws up to the Dragon for something a bit different. Let me tell you how quickly he regains HP and the amount of PKs up there. The Dragon is just not worth it at all. I'm so happy when I've decided to camp it's been at the Orc because I have so much better success rate. Next up is a Spider's Task, which you already know means Wildanator. On an Ironman, to use the wilderness weapons comes with a hell of a lot of prep work from the Revenants. I really don't mind camping the Revenants, as I still need the chain mace, as well as them being consistent cash, and I have a good bit of fun having a tussle with the PKs. As soon as a second PK logs in, even if it's in singles plus, it means you can no longer freeze and log, because even with the PJ timer it's still not enough time because you need to be out of combat for 10 seconds. Something that's always worthwhile looking at is the second PK's combat and working out at what level only one can attack you, and then obviously you can utilise the freeze and log. But in this case I didn't need to land the freeze, as the cave dweller's eyes must have lost focus as he stepped outside of the cave. Here I was completely out of food, so my only option was to wait for his entangle to tick down. Tried to land my own clutch entangle and get the log. I did manage to land the entangle, but unfortunately it was just as he landed my final blow. Suspicious looking lad with a very Venezuelan name. I should have been more on guard, especially as I did see him pop, but I wasn't, and as a result he slices up my Swede with his draconic claws. Got attacked by Flippity. He's someone who's hunted me down before. He's a pretty chill guy, but he's yet to kill me, so I do always feel like he's out for blood. He is a decent PKer and had me all over the shop with this attempt, the way he just kept standing underneath and pulling the fade keys. He also did manage to chance me with an AGS smack, but we didn't go down. Better luck next time, fella. After some good fun up at the Revenants, we had enough effort to crack on with our Spider's Task that we got. But it didn't start well at all. As I was luring Wildanator, I got caught by a Max Main, his minion, and they both AGS'd me head off. It was proven to be a challenging start at the big spiders who got attacked again by these two gentlemen. There's so much about the wilderness update I'm really looking forward to, but one thing is I'm really not is the inability to be able to box NPCs. The more I've considered it, I hope Jagex implements something in place to be able to escape a TB, as I think expecting someone to tank for 5 minutes is just unviable. Thankfully on this attempt we could still box. Loraniel key coming in at 465, a second key at 472. Just 2 kills later, we're grabbing a D2H. Kill after the D2H, another Laren's key, very nice. 483, a dragon forged sword that is only wieldable within 2 hands.
You were dealing with proper scallywags.
The majority of the time we use our Laren keys, and normally after a death, because I like to see if we can mix up the death with a good bit of RNG, so let's see if we can get anything nice from these keys. We went back to our good old friend, the Crazy Archaeologist, in a hunt for some more red d'hide bodies. It's not often you'll see many PKs at the Archaeologist, and when you do, there's normally just one, and what you do is you just simply tank for a minute, and then the Crazy Archaeologist will respawn and PGA the PKer off. But when there's 2, it can make things a little more tricky. We did manage to escape this one, but really, on sheer luck and good RNG.
2,000 kill count at the Crazy Archaeologist.
This is an area you've likely never seen me at before. It's called the Revenant Cave, boys. Ha! Yep, nope, we're back for some effer. Coming in, boys. Oh, what have you got for me? TY, thanks. Thanks for your burgundy DI body and your beautiful blue pointy hat. Some little prizes we got. 500k. 1 million. 2 million coins. A guy looking pretty newbie started a fight. Sometimes I'll fight back even without KO potential just to waste their time and supplies and assert some sort of dominance, otherwise often they'll just come back and rag you. The problem is a lot of these PKs are just bait accounts, and what happened in this situation was he was just there to whittle down my supplies. By the time the big fella got me, I only had about a minute TB on me. He was outputting some pretty decent damage. I thought my best hope was to hop in and out of the cave. It's not a tactic I'd normally use, as you can't be sure what to pray, as you can't really see them, but I thought with just the minute TB this was my best option on this occasion. We did manage to survive, but only by the skin of our teeth. Back to the Spoda. Laren Key with 49 left on the task. 96 HP. Killing Wildanator has to be tick perfect on the lore. Getting that level messed up the lore, but we are now ever so slightly harder to kill. Absolutely terrible YouTuber. We missed 82 Slayer, 500 total Wildanator kills, and 1375 total level. Final tiny bit of prep to finish up the full spider task at Wildanator. Don't fancy eating that food in your inventory there then, Wilder? Nah, alrighty then. I should be well and truly slain. Luring is bad.
2,400 kill count, that puts us well into rank 2.
Yep, that's right boys, went a bit mad at the old crazy archaeologist. 2,400 kills. These are all the surplus shards we currently have. I really hope Jagex revisits Wilderness Clues in the future. If not, then I guess we'll hurl towards that 5k rank 1. Back to Wildanator, where these lads got on me. They were both maxed, so I knew I only had a couple of levels to run down, and I knew if I had Protect Melee up, they wouldn't be able to one-hit me, or so I thought, but I kind of completely forgot about weapons like the Volatile, and I very, very nearly paid for getting a little chopsy with the boys. And with the kill of this big spider, that's going to be task over. Bit of a wild ride that one with all the prep of the task, but nice to see the full task complete, and the KC now well over 500. On screen are the loots we got at that task. The reason there's slightly less loot than the kills on the task is because as an Iron, some of Wildanator was already tagged but still at full HP. Jagex Ironman are crying out for you to let us know at the start of the kill rather than the end, so please update that one. Hopping over to the goals list, if you made it this far, please consider dropping a like, and if you've enjoyed more than one of my videos, a subscription. We've had Boss KC go up on Callisto, Wildanator and the Crazy Archaeologist. Over 600 kills in just this video on the Archaeologist. We're now just one Slayer level away from Draconic Boots, our first but best in slot pair of boots, and completing the Dragon section. For those of you that are unaware, I've enrolled in the YouTube membership program. Thank you to any mad lad that supports me in this way. A special thank you to Wheeze, Cummy Pancakes, yep, you really made me say it, Guitar, and GBMF. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.